Kelly, and I'm back with another layout. And today I'm going to be scrapping these two photos, and it's photos from a dinner that my boyfriend and I went to for a new to me restaurant. He had been there, I think, once before. It's a fairly new restaurant kind of in our area, but amazing, amazing food. So I'm going to back those on that piece of light blue paper. It's from Best Creations Inc. And the collection is It's Spring, and the paper is called It's Spring. Now I'm going to add it to this crazy, almost quilted design paper from Heidi Swapp Old School. It's the City Grid paper. And then I'll mount all of that on the You're One of a Kind paper from Heidi Swapp Old School. It's the true blue paper. So that paper was, you could get it in pink or blue. So I want a place to journal about this because the food was great. It was a nice night for us. And so I'm playing around with some of the tags from Heidi Swapp Old School from the tag kit. So that's where that kind of peachy tag came from. And then I'm also going to look at this pack here, which is the die cuts from Heidi Swapp Old School. So I like that die cut there that says, "This is the life." It has a little bit of silver on it, but I moved it. I didn't like it there. And then I found this die cut that says, "Enjoy the now," which I like because I was very much enjoying this time for the two of us to be together, and the food was just, my scallops were amazing, my risotto was amazing, and most of what they do is grilled. So my asparagus and scallops were grilled, and oh my gosh, it was so good. All right, so then I'm just adding in a floral at the top left there and a ticket. Obviously, we didn't need a ticket to get in because it was a restaurant, but it's really just ephemera there. I'm going for color here to get some of the green in from the background there. And then I'm going to add another floral and another ticket on this side. Obviously, I haven't cut that quilted paper down yet because I wasn't exactly sure how far over I was going to want it to go. I did grab that little calendar die cut from the Old School ephemera, and then found this little piece that said "So Rad," this little tag that said "So Rad" from the die cuts as well, because this was really rad. And then I'll get that stuff kind of glued down so I know about where I want things to go. Now I do want to ink these, not the top paper is not from the same collection, but everything else is. I just want it to have a little bit more definition sitting up on top, especially because that quilt paper, what I'm calling the quilted paper, is so busy. I think it really needed that. And then adding that in. Just getting it in. So it's more for definition than it is for anything else. The ink in this particular case, that Memento Dewdrop in gray flannel, which I use all the time. I actually just ordered some more from Amazon. I always have one going and then one kind of backup because they do dry out. I'm actually surprised how fast it happens, but they do. All right, so kind of just playing around with layering. When I layer, I don't know if I've talked about this recently, but I try to get the piece to touch as many other layers as I can. So that ticket that I just put down is touching the photo, the mat, the quilted paper, and the other two die cuts in its cluster. And then that outside die cut there, that this is a life die cut, is also touching the background paper. So it just pulls everything together. And it's how you make your clusters make sense. You gather them together. You want less space in them than more space, so that your eye sees it as a group is the best way to explain why you want to do it that way. All right, so now I just figured out where I was going to, or how far I was going to trim that paper. I decided to justify it over to the right side, just because it made sense with the way that cluster was there. And then I'll put that up there, get it inked first. And that'll be my date there where I can put my date. There's no year on that, but there's space where I'll be able to add it. All right. And then I'm just adding in the information there on dates and that kind of stuff. And because there's a date on the bottom as well, I did the date there too, plus the restaurant that we were at. This is a sticker sheet from the Heidi Swapp Old School collection. I didn't find anything I wanted to use there. They had a lot of labels that if I had thought about it earlier, I might have added some of those in, but I really felt like my clusters were pretty much done. So now I'm adding some twine. This pink twine is from the Paper Studio, which is Hobby Lobby, and I think I got it in a pack of like 12 different colors or something like that. There was a ton of it, so it's nice because when I need twine, I have some sort of color that will work for it because of that. And it was fairly inexpensive, especially if you use those 40 off coupons. Not that I would know about that because, you know me, stash freeze, so I'm not buying new stuff. But I have plenty to scrap from. Plenty. It's time to get some stuff used up. All right, so now I want to put the name of the restaurant on here if I can. And I found some smaller foam letters here. I love these things. They are the American Craft Stickers, the Wonder alphabet here. So the name of the restaurant is Twisted Fire. It'll be easy to get this down. And, you know, twisted is a longer word, but because this is such a small alpha, I'm going to have no problem getting that on there. So love that. And it just sits in that space really nicely. I didn't completely plan that, obviously, but I had to get it down. So now I have these large blue enamel dots from Bella Boulevard, and they are the blueberry enamel dots. So I'm so excited to say that I used up that package. They're huge. Those enamel dots are so big. So I'm going to stick this last one in so they all sit in there. They're so big, they're hard to use. So I always tuck them underneath. That's a big kind of hint. If you're finding your enamel dot to be too big, just tuck it under something so you still get the kind of shine and the texture, but you don't get the hugeness of that, because those enamel dots, those Bella Boulevard, are probably twice the size of like a Doodlebug large enamel dot. So then I'm going to add these gray ones in. Those are from Eyelet, Outlet, and Brad's. And then I have these pink enamel dots, which are from Recollections, the Valentine enamel dots, which is a much older collection. I've had these for quite a while. It's time that these get used up as well, too. I talked about in my last video that I'm trying to use up my packages of enamel dots where there's more than one color. So I can just buy enamel dots that are in a single color. It's just easier. I tend to think I want a yellow one or a great green one, so that will work better for me. All right, guys, there's the still shot and a couple of detail shots. Hope you're all well, and I'll be back with another lay again soon. Bye, everybody.